fitting handrails and balustrading. Now that our deck boards are in position, we can start to look at the handrails and balusters that will provide a feature around the edge of our deck. First of all, using 27 by 95 mm multi-purpose material, a top rail is cut and fixed to the newel posts so that the top edge of the rail is level with the top of the posts. The rail can be fixed to either the inside or the outside of the posts, whichever is preferred from a visual point of view. However, fixing to the insides of the posts is advisable if you require improved strength to the railing system. Fix the rail with 2 screws to each post, making sure that your joints of rail are calculated to meet at the centre of the newel posts. Where the rails meet at the corner of the deck, mitre the joint for a professional finish. Further strength can be added to this mitre joint with 2 screws positioned horizontally. Base rails can now be fitted to the posts around the deck in a similar way. Remember that the bottom of the base rail should be no more than 100 mm above the top of your deck boards. Using 33 by 120 mm multi-purpose material, a wider top handrail can now be fitted on top of the newel posts. The handrail sits squarely on top of each newel post and can be fixed using a metal corner bracket to the underside of the handrail and the inside face of the newel post. Make sure the screws used with the bracket are not too long to come through the top face of the handrail. Alternatively, the fixing can be made by screwing through the top of the handrail directly into the newel post surface. Once again, where the handrails meet at the corners of the deck, use a mitre joint for a neat finish. Using 33 by 33 mm multi-purpose material, balusters can now be fitted on the inside of the top rail and the base rail. Cut balusters matching the distance between the top edge of the top rail and the bottom edge of the base rail, less 10 mm at their base. The bottom of each baluster should also be given a chamfered cut for a professional finish. Balusters should be fixed with intermediate gaps of no more than 100 mm. You will need to work out the number of balusters for each section between the newel posts and their exact spacing to provide a consistent design. Once you've calculated this spacing distance, cut pieces of timber to use as a consistent spacer guide. Screw fix each baluster into the top and base rails using 2 screws in each fixing. Pre-drill the screw holes to help prevent the timber from splitting. On our deck, we are utilising 85 by 85 mm Grecian columns to provide a lower level railing system to make a feature of our existing magnolia shrub and allow for its continued growth. The Grecian columns are first turned upside down, positioned at the required distance apart, and a section of 27 by 95 mm multi-purpose material is screw fixed to each column with 4 screws, 1 in each corner. As we are creating an outer corner to our deck, the rail section is then mitre joined across the last column to a second run of columns. New for 2005 is a Grecian newel, which could now be used in this position. The mitre joint is again strengthened with horizontal screws, pulling the joint together. This jointed section is now turned the correct way up and screw fixed in position on the deck boards with the ends of the rails meeting the newel posts. Corner brackets are used at the newel posts to provide a neat and solid fixing. The freestanding newel post already built into the subframe is carefully cut to size to match the height of the columns. We used 85 by 85 mm multi-purpose material for the newel, but as an alternative and more ornate option, Q-Deck has since introduced a Grecian newel post, measuring 85 by 85 by 750 mm long. Sections of top rail are cut to fit over the top of the columns, with a mitre joint at the corner. The top rail is screw fixed down into each column, with a screw at each corner. Finally, using 33 by 120 mm multi-purpose material, sections of wider handrail are cut and screw fixed from below, through the top rail. Each end of the handrail section, where it meets or overlaps the newel post, is given a chamfered angled finish with a chisel for a professional touch.